Extensive, we'll get into how to make it. Bone broth. Now what's bone broth? Bone broth basically is taking bones from an animal, chicken or beef, and you put them in a crock pot or a slow cooker and fill it with water, and you cook them for 24 to 48 hours. So why is bone broth so amazing? Bone broth is amazing because number one, it has really amazing bioavailable vitamins and minerals. What does that mean? When we're cooking those bones, all these vitamins like calcium and phosphorus and magnesium and silica, all the minerals that are so important for our own bones and our own connective tissue get absorbed into this broth. So when we drink it, it really helps support our healing inside us, whether it's for joints, whether it's for hair, skin, and nails. But in this case, bone broth is amazing at supporting the healing of the intestinal tract. The main thing bone broth has, though, is collagen and gelatin. Collagen and gelatin, when it leaches into the broth, is so important to help support our cartilage. And what's also in there are these two amino acids called proline and glycine. Those amino acids with the collagen and gelatin really help knit the intestinal walls, so the leaky gut almost becomes obsolete so quickly because the intestinal cells and the intestinal permeability really diminishes so beautifully because now you have the collagen to heal the lining of the intestinal wall. Let me tell you how I make my bone broth. Now my brother's a chef, so this is his recipe based on taste. Now for me and for you, I'm only focused on the healing benefits of bone broth. The gelatin, the collagen, the glycine, the proline, all the amazing vitamins and minerals, that's my focus. But because he is a chef, I'll take him into account. What I do is I get 2 pounds of bones. I use grass-fed beef bones for every gallon of water. So I have a huge pot and I put 5 pounds of beef bones in there. 10 pounds of beef bones in there, and I fill it up with 5 gallons of water. Always make sure the water is about 6 inches above the top of where the bones sit. Then what I do is I cut up a huge bulb of ginger, throw that in there. I use leeks, cut up the leeks, throw that in there. I love dandelion for the liver, and so this is a bone broth to help my body heal. So I'm going to take dandelion and put that in there. And then I put in celery, and I put in some Himalayan rock salt for some electrolytes, and just to give it a little for taste, I guess. So then I take the bones, but before I put them in the pot, I roast them for about 30 minutes. That's my brother's idea. He says roast the bones first to make sure that there's a little bit more flavor to them. No oil, just bake them in the oven, and then put them right in the pot, fill with water with all the vegetables. The second thing he recommends that I really like is that I put in a little apple cider vinegar in there. Not only does it help facilitate breaking down the bones so that the nutrients get into the broth better, but it also gives it a little bit of flavor as it cooks over the time. Now, when you're making bone broth, I cook mine for about 36 hours. You want to be able to almost squeeze the bone and have it break in your fingers. So sometimes it could be 24 hours, sometimes it could be 48, but usually on average it's about 36 hours before the broth becomes nice and filled with all the nutrients. Also, the first few hours, every 20 or 30 minutes, there's some impurities that come to the top of the water. Just skim those off, throw that away. But don't worry, you're not losing any of the nutrients, you're not losing any of the collagen or gelatin. That will all be there 36 hours later when you drain everything and you have the broth ready to drink or eat. Okay?